The acronym BRIC or BRIC consisting of Brazil, Russia, India and China was coined in 2001 by the Goldman Sachs economist Jean O'Neill. The first meeting was held in 2006 between the finance ministers on the sidelines of the United Nations General Assembly debate, and the first summit took place in June 2009 in Russia at Yekaterinburg. The expansion of the group then happened in 2011 when South Africa, being a path for the African Union countries, also was cordially made to join this organization. The BRIC basically comprises of 26.7% of the world area and 41.6% of the world population. It has about $4.46 trillion of foreign reserves. Also, all the members are part of the G20. Here it is mandatory to mention that Russia, China and India are amongst the first 10 most populous countries and also the largest economies of the world. Here, China and India are basically upcoming markets and also importers of lot of goods. The BRIC basically is an financial and economic institute where these countries which are developing combine together to assist each other in means of finances and economic policies so that they can surge forward, and like Jean O'Neill has predicted, these countries will be superpower in terms of economy by 2050. Initially in the BRICS, the finance ministers or the concerned people only met, but from 2009 the heads of states have been meeting in the summits once a year so that proper policy decisions for forging ahead can be chalked out. The G7 at times feels endangered by this organization and has put sanctions on it this year with ties to terrorism, and this has been done by the European Union and the US put together. The institutions for economic cohesion which have been forged and made are the new development bank which was done and created during the 6th BRICS summit at Brazil in 2014. Then in 2014 again the contingency reserve arrangement was also signed for ensuring liquidity for the member states when they are confronted by short-term balance of payment crises. This gives a capital of $100 billion which are committed under the CRA, which can act as the guarantor of BRICS financial stability in case of crises by the countries. Then in 2015, the BRICS payment system was also conceptualized, and a system for creating and moving on for payment system in terms of national currencies was formalized. This is basically a global multilateral payment system that could provide greater independence and would create a definite guarantee for the BRICS nations. Then there is a possibility for a discussion on a potential new currency between the nations, which will be taken up in the summit which will be held in South Africa this year. Also, there have been contradiction of interests in the BRICS, because after the COVID pandemic, India put across for a unbiased investigation on the genesis of COVID, and China did not take it very nicely because of their involvement in it, and they opposed it, and the things were put to rest at that position. Also, in July this year, Putin has decided not to attend the summit in South Africa, though South Africa has given diplomatic immunity to him, but he has decided that he will take part in the summit virtually and be part of every discussion, but not attend it due to the ongoing Ukraine-Russia war. Also, one of the main aims of BRICS is basically reduction of poverty in the nations, because these are all developing countries, and when these economic ties are created, they will forge ahead for increase of the GDP of the nations and reduce the poverty, thus getting the countries to a higher level of development. So, how does the BRIC basically assist India in the world order and also improve its status in the regional geopolitics? Here, India has been basically trying for a permanent membership of the UN and also the nuclear supply group, and China has been putting a constant roadblock to it. So in these forums like the BRICS and the SCO, India can discuss out with China, which is a major rival, and get their consent and achieve our own aim of having a seat in the UN or on the NSG. Then the BRICS also has challenges in the terms, because though the group is heterogeneous with countries from across all the continents, but then because China has the largest portion of the economy presently, all the group tradings are China centric, and balancing the trade deficit with China is basically a challenge for the other nations. And also at times China gets a bit pushy in trying to get its vested interests through because of its economic high-handedness. So there has to be certain policies which have to be put in place so that all the countries can discuss at a same level. So what is the method in which the BRICS can move forward in a cohesive manner? It should basically promote comprehensive development of all states, both big and small, and enhanced mutually beneficial cooperation amongst them on the basis of shared interests. The democratization of the international issues like agreements on the global agenda should be reached with the widest and equal participation of all the stakeholders and be based on universally recognized legal norms. The principle of respect for cultural and civilization diversity of the world should be a top priority. The BRIC nations should combine together at the same platform and try to develop systems which are politico-economical and development oriented and settle out the crises and conflict in the world trade or amongst themselves in the various regions of the world, so that the economy grows more and more. Therefore, the BRICS, being a polycentric trade center, should play a stabilizing role in the global world affairs and try to create seamless economic trade policies and contribute significantly to world international stability and ensure economic growth for a united center for a multipolar world instead of a unipolar world, where people do not have to be bullied down and each nation has its own integral trade system with economy put in place to a certain level. So friends, let us know if you have liked this video. I'll request you to please share and subscribe to our channels. Listen to us for more such topics. Jai Hind.